Quan. I'm Kendria. I need you to go like, follow, and subscribe. Soul Productions.
What's up, everyone? And this is Next Level Thinking.
What's up, everyone? It's another episode of Next Level Thinking, where we always help you bring code to the next level. And today, I have a special guest by the name of
Joanna Quan.
And as always, your host, Chris Holmes. So we're going to hit the ground running. Tell the audience just a little bit about yourself. I see you over here glammed up as always, ready for the photo shoot. So tell the audience a little bit more about yourself so they can know who you are.
Like you heard, my name is Joanna, and I go by Jo, actually.
Joe.
Yes. I go to Rice University currently. I'm going to be a sophomore. And school's actually starting really soon for us. But other than that, from my Instagram, can tell that I also model on the side. And I'm working on becoming a published model, which is really cool. And I also am a big part of the Chinese Student Association at Rice because I'm half Chinese and half Mongolian. And I'm also majoring in psychology and English, but on the pre-med track. So I have a lot going on, but I'm also really into horoscopes. So I say Tauruses are really good at time management, and I have a lot of Taurus in my chart.
Cool. So we're going to dive a little bit more in depth. So I heard they're going to most likely see from your Instagram, you do modeling and much more. So what actually inspires you to get into it?
So when I was younger, I did, I was really always interested in modeling. I've always grown up as I love princesses and stuff. And so when I was around, I think 13, I started on the track to runway modeling, but I did all the steps I had to with my agency until they said okay, well now you need to do homeschool or transition to a less intensive schooling system so you can actually have time to take these modeling classes so you can further your career. And I just didn't think that was a good set plan. Yeah, or a set plan because I've always wanted to be a doctor. And so when I moved to Houston to attend Rice University, I met my best friend, Natalie, and she wants to be
Natalie.
Yes. And she's working on becoming an influencer, and she started to get into there was this modeling event or something, and I really still to this day don't know what it was, but we showed up and a bunch of photographers offered to shoot with us, and it just kind of spiraled from there.
Yeah, so I guarantee you probably already glammed up and much more. They're like, oh, you look good, beautiful. You're like, oh, can I take a picture of you? Is that how it kind of went? So one photographer starts snapping, and the other one's like, oh, let me see what's going on. And the other one's like, what's really going on? And then you have a whole group of photographers like, oh, what's really going on? And, and you probably feel like, oh, it's a whole paparazzi. And your friends, what the heck just happened? I don't know. I just said okay, and then this.
Yeah. And I'm like, ooh, maybe I like this. And so I got into it again.
I'm pretty sure that was a fun experience. So, I know you hit influencer, probably got your stuff on social media. As you do, you have stuff on social media. So how do you feel has social media impacted modeling in your own opinion? Because, the technology constantly changing. Let me hear from your opinion how social media is changing the game, especially with influencers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it just started up everything. I feel it would be so much harder for me to get into something I really loved, but just didn't think was a very it was a very risky path. So I didn't get to pursue modeling, and without social media, I wouldn't be able to get into it now and get all these offers and start up my own modeling business on the side while still working to become a doctor, which is what I really want to do, and of course model too. But I social media helped me find a way to put those two together, which I don't think would be possible without Instagram. No one would see my work.
And I definitely agree because with social media, keep in mind back tend to call it the information highway. But especially with social media, you can actually like create your own brand. You can do your own thing. So if you want to be a boss in your life, you can be like, all right, this is my brand, this is this. As long as you put the work and efforts, you can start seeing things happen. Especially like if you're seeing like a lot of traffic, as you just mentioned earlier.
Exactly. Yeah. And like people, it's out there for everyone to see. So like now it's easier for brands too, like to just go on like Instagram and be like, oh, I like her look. Like, let me hire her. Like, that's how I get a lot of my offers actually.
Yeah. Yeah, but I can see that. So, and then you said you wanted to be a doctor too. That's going to be one heck of a niche because they're going to be like, yes, I look good. And then I put doctor in front of my name. So you're going to be a double threat right there.
Yes, I'm excited.
So like, I know I check out the website. So what other skills and things you do? Because I want you to go ahead and tell them because I check out the website, but let the audience know from your own.
Yeah. Like what medical side, I guess. I grew up, both my parents are doctors, so I was like, I would always be forced to follow them to work. And so I was kind of like pushed into developing my own interest in the medical field, but I'm glad I was. And so like, aside from the fashion side on my blog, the health side is more about like all, I'm really I just like do random research all the time about like these random deformities people have that I just think are really cool. Or like when I meet someone who has a deformity, I'm always like, oh my God, what's it called? Like, how'd you get it cured? Like, or not, maybe not cured, like, temporarily like, fixed. And then I look it up and I write, and I just like have to write blogs about them. And so that's something I do in my free time. It's just like research. It sounds boring, but just like research all these random things. And it's just really cool. I don't know.
And I definitely agree with that because it makes that person unique. I mean, any traits and things that you have on your body and much more makes you unique in being yourself. So like even if it's a form, that what makes you yourself. So I'm a strong believer in just be yourself to the fullest.
Yeah.
Now I gotta go ahead and like tell me a little bit more about like the. Did you mention like to me like you were in an association on Rice University?
Yes.
Yes. So tell the audience a little bit more about that because I'm pretty sure they're like, oh, you in that?
So I'm in Rice's Chinese Student Association, and I am they have a special word for it, but it's something publicity chair. But basically what I do is I'm the management of social media. And so, which is funny because we were just talking about that, but,
talk business.
So basically I post to our Facebook wall. I'm starting up, an Instagram. We have a website, and also it's like something that aside from all the social media, stuff, it like allows me to kind of, develop or, like focus on a set of strengths I have that isn't really, it's just like being able to organize and schedule and it's not like, it's something I do for myself, but it's not something I get to do as like for an organization or like make my skills in those better. But in this, so like this publicity chair position is really good for me because I get to like organize all our meetings and like schedule those and like kind of be like a little secretary, but like a little bit more than that. And like, I love doing that stuff because I can do it I've learned to like time manage very efficiently. And so I think that's really cool. And we throw a lot of events like dumpling making and like we have a Chinese Lunar New Year event every year. So it's really cool.
Awesome. And so you have like a lot of different skills that's going on from like PR, marketing, time management, communication. Well, I'm probably giving you some notes you can put on a resume. Like, yeah, team development. I mean, there's all different skill sets you can get just far from being that organization. So kudos to you on that. And that's inspiration to other people because I'm a strong believer that especially like when you're in the university, you want to take advantage of the opportunities and connections because you have a lot of like-minded people and people that share similar interests to help you further your career or like kind of bounce different ideas and be more innovative. So I definitely give kudos to that. So beyond that one, so what else? Because I know you had a lot of different things going on and much more on your website. So what else you got going on?
What? Well, something else that's really cool is parts of my blog are actually sponsored by Natural Healthy Concepts. And they have a really cool website about just a bunch of things that they have approved, like vitamin supplements or essential oils, etc. And they have a lot of cool brands. And so if you like click on some of the links in some of my previous blogs, like the I don't know, I don't want to say this wrong because I wrote a blog about it, but I think it's called turmeric. And so that one is really cool. There's some links to their website. I communicate with their editor, Eric Mazzoni. And so we do a lot of posts together. And they write stuff for their website as well that I actually collaborate on, which is really cool. So that's also something I've been working on the side. And then something else actually is I actually work with Texas A&M Medical School's specialized patient program, and this was actually really surprising to me because when my parents went to medical school, they didn't have this, but now when your part of your medical board exams is like treating a real patient, and the patient is an actress or actor, and I am actually that actress that plays the patient. So I've been doing a bunch of jobs with them, being like a fake patient, like an actress, and that has been like super cool. Like it's been such a new experience because I've never really acted. I've mainly modeled in my life, and so acting, just like improv everything, is really cool.
Yeah, and I'm guaranteed it lets you throw your imagination into it as well, like throwing different kind of personalities, like I'm the medium, the really mysterious one, or this the person up to no good, or you the fighter. It's like there's so many different ways you can just have with this, so that's good. And I believe like modeling and acting goes hand in hand because of course you got to look glammed up, but then on top of that you throw the skill set of strong different personalities. So I'm just believe it goes hand in hand. So with that, I know we got a lot of big different jewels going on right now, but what is like an obstacle that you had to overcome? Because, nowadays people are like, oh, they don't know anything. They're just getting to school. They haven't had to face any kind of adversity. I'm pretty sure you're at this plenty amount of time, but through your, college career and just building up all this from the website and much more, what are some of the obstacles you had to overcome so other people can relate?
One big obstacle I've had to overcome is like growing up. So my parents are both immigrants, and another big mother figure in my life is my grandma, who actually like raised me. And so all of them are immigrants from China and Mongolia. And so when they moved to America, they had to start like from like when they came, they had like $40 like for everything, and like so like they grew up in a very different way than I grew up, because when I was born, like my parents had like started their private practices, and like it was just like they put me in, like they wanted the best for me because they felt like they had the worst, and they came here for a purpose, is for me to have the best. And so they put me in like a nice school, and like but seeing, just like not being able to understand them and them not being able to understand me created a lot of like family problems. And so like there was just a lot of struggles there, and some very like intense stuff happened, but overall like we still are overcoming it. But the main obstacle for us was just knowing that like I am my own person, and not like they expected me to go through the same journey as them, like working super hard. Like my dad like literally was he was so nervous about his like medical board exams, he like wore a diaper.
Okay, so I have to stop you on there because you just hit like something big right there that I think the audience need to pay attention to, and that is not being afraid to take your own journey, because as parents, they want the best for their child and much more. And a lot of times they want to take them the safe route. And, when you grow and get older and you experience different things in life, you develop and find things you like and have different interests. And it may be completely different from what your parents are thinking. So I believe there's a strong need more focus and awareness of like not being afraid to step out on your own, because I feel a lot of even students today are going the pathway of their parents, and I honestly, I feel like that can lead up to something where you might possibly regret it in the future because you weren't doing the things that you want. So I'm gonna let you continue off of that, but like I really believe that's something that people need to be more aware of.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Because like maybe by coincidence, maybe that's just like who I am, but I wasn't like pressured into my medical interest, even though it aligns with what my parents want. I actually like fought against it, like you were saying, like for the longest time, until up to like maybe even 10th grade in high school. Like I was like, no, I want to be a fashion designer. Like I want to do fashion. Like I don't want to be a doctor. And then I actually like started liking biology a lot, and I developed my own interest into that field. But like a lot of friends I know, they are in a very similar position as I am, and they continue on down their parents' path. But like one of my friends, she loves like graphic design, and she's so amazing, and she's just like, oh, it's a hobby because like I don't want, like I'm scared to like upset my parents. And like I would have never gotten the opportunity to like keep modeling if like I didn't push for like maybe like I just sometimes like don't even tell my parents until it becomes like a thing, because like I just like I want to be able to do my own thing and not have them to like, they don't like, I love my parents, but sometimes parents can be obstacles, and I just feel like it's really important to like, even though there's a lot of resistance sometimes, like just keep going and like keep developing that interest, because no matter, like what I believe in is like you can profit off of each talent as long as you're diverse enough and like push hard enough to like put yourself out there and get offers and like work with people and make connections.
Wait. You can't be dropping all them jewels like that on people like that. You can't be just for the water hose, but I'm messing with you. But you hit like something really big, and it's putting in the work ethic. Because like, especially when you're pursuing different things like this, like you have a vision of much more what you want to see, but not everybody's going to be aware or understand your vision, but you understand. So you got to be willing to put in the work ethic, and it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, it may not even be next month, it may be years. But as long as you put the work ethic in, you're like taking steps that much closer to where you want to be.
Yes, I agree.
Yes. So I'm going to go ahead because I want to close up things. I know you got things to do as well. But what is something that you live by on a daily basis? And I'm going to let you go in depth on that. And then we're going to end off with you telling them where they can find you.
Okay, awesome. This actually is such a good question because I have this tattooed on me. So my daily model that I like to see and think of is be a force of nature. And it's funny because I got that quote actually from Christina Yang from Grey's Anatomy. But even though it may be a little cliche, and like I think a few people who have seen my tattoo are like, that's a video game meme or something. And I'm like, oh man. But like, I just think it's a really good quote to live by, like be a force of nature, because I think of that and I think of like Christina Yang from Grey's Anatomy for people who have seen that. And I just think of like my mom and like my grandma and the strong women in my life who have just like been a force of nature. Like it's crazy to see my mom, like, who's a whole ass doctor, like she grew up on a farm with like 5 siblings in Mongolia. Like she was a force of nature to me, and like I just think that's like it just brings like shivers to my spine to see people who have like been a tornado and just like ended up like a strong tornado and just like went like pushed their way through their life to get to where they are. And I think that's like just incredible. And so I wanted it tattooed on me to remind me, because I can be a little bit emotional and like sad, and like I can get let down like really easily at first and like be just really sad when I get defeated. But then after I sit there and just like stew and like for a while, I'll remember that like my mom and my grandma have had it worse. Like, and I just see the tattoo and like, it just like makes me like happy, emotional. Like it brings this like this, like something lights up and I'm like, hey, I can do this. I can be a force of nature. Like, it's okay.
Very well said. So closing out before you end it all up is tell the audience where they can find you on social media and much more.
You can find me on Instagram, Joanna Q Loves You, with the U spelled with the letter U, and then loves spelled Lubs. It's a complicated thing, but I love it. And then you can also find me on Twitter by the same name, Joanna Q Loves You, as well as my blog, which is in the bio of my Instagram.
Awesome. So, as always, it's your host, Chris Holmes, bringing you very inspirational guests to help you take it to the next level. And then I have the lovely, the glamorous guest by the name of Joanna. And so make sure that you like, subscribe, and share the message, keep things going. Go ahead on Spotify, YouTube, and all these other social media platforms so we can help you take it to the next level and much more. So make sure you keep things going, and let's take it to the next level. Peace.
Bye.